time moves forward. At least, that's what we believe. But scattered through the ancient world are clues that history hasn't always played by its own rules. Artifacts out of place, dates that refuse to align, records of stars that shouldn't have been visible. Tonight, we follow the evidence, not legend, not fantasy, evidence that hints our timeline might have slipped. The Antikythera mechanism, clock of the future. In 1901, sponge divers near a small Greek island pulled up corroded bronze fragments. When reassembled decades later, they revealed gears, precision engineering a millennium ahead of its time. Modern CT scans show it predicted eclipses, planetary positions, and even Olympic cycles. Nothing like it appears again for 1,300 years. A mechanical computer in an age of sails and swords. No one has found its predecessor or successor in the record. It's as if the knowledge surfaced once and vanished. The Mayans and the measure of time. The Mayan long count calendar tracks time in 394-year cycles called backtons. When converted to modern astronomy, those cycles align with the precession of Earth's axis, a calculation requiring 26,000 years of data. How could a Bronze Age civilization measure that span with naked eye observation? Archaeologists admit, the math works, but the data source doesn't. The Mayans knew the wobble of the planet, something modern science only confirmed with telescopes. The Sumerian king list reigns beyond reason. A single clay tablet lists rulers who reigned for thousands, even tens of thousands, of years before the flood. When the deluge came, it says, the kingship descended from heaven once more. Historians treat it as myth. Yet sediment layers from that period show a massive flood around 2900 BC. The timeline is right, the numbers are not. Why record reigns longer than recorded human lifespan, if not to mark a different measure of time, or a calendar we no longer understand. The Temple of Dendera, stars that moved. On the ceiling of Egypt's Temple of Hathor lies a stone disk, a map of constellations. Modern astronomers recreated the sky positions and discovered the carvings show stellar alignments from 5,000 years before the temple was built. How did its artists know the exact drift of the heavens over millennia? To mark that change, they would have needed a consistent record of star movement, one kept longer than any dynasty. The Roman concrete paradox. Ancient Roman structures still stand because their concrete heals itself when cracked. For centuries, scientists couldn't replicate it. Then in 2023, chemical analysis revealed microscopic lime clasts that absorb water and reform as binding agents, a technology our industry rediscovered only now. The Romans understood material reactions at a molecular level, centuries before chemistry existed. It's not a time travel story. It's a reminder that progress isn't a straight line, it loops. Ancient eclipses that don't fit. Astronomers have cataloged eclipses from Babylonian and Chinese records. Most align perfectly, until a few don't. Two documented eclipses, one from 136 BC and another from 1226 BC, occur hours apart from where orbital models predict. Tiny? Yes, but to shift light and shadow by those minutes would require a slight change in Earth's rotation, a literal glitch in timekeeping. Geophysicists now think massive quakes or mantle rebounds briefly altered the planet's spin. For the ancients, time itself stuttered, and they wrote it down. The Voynich manuscript, language without a century. Radiocarbon dating places the parchment in the early 1400s. The writing, however, matches no known alphabet. Botanical drawings show plants that don't exist anywhere. AI analysis suggests the cipher's grammar mirrors none of the world's language families. A book from the past, written in a linguistic pattern that fits none of its time. Was it encryption, or the record of a culture that didn't survive the timeline it came from? The calendar that counted too far. In Ireland's Ballino stone circle, alignments mark both solstices and equinoxes over an 18.6-year lunar cycle. But recent laser mapping found secondary markers pointing to patterns repeating every 8,000 years, long beyond human planning need. Who builds a monument to track time that far beyond a single civilization? Perhaps they weren't marking the future. Perhaps they were measuring how far back they'd already been. History is supposed to be linear, but the evidence forms loops. Knowledge appears, disappears, and re-emerges centuries later. Calendars predict millennia they shouldn't. Stone remembers what books forget. Maybe the ancients weren't time travelers. Maybe they were excellent record keepers of cycles so long we're only beginning to see them repeat. Time doesn't just pass, it layers. And sometimes, for those who listen closely, it echoes. This is Truth in the Shadow's Eye. Subscribe for more.